Hello to the team at Noel's Landscaping. My name's Jeff Bradley, and I help businesses to get their websites ranked onto page 1 of Google. And I wanted to make you this quick video to show you a couple of things that you can do to your website that will greatly improve your Google ranking and multiply your monthly revenue. And I'm going to show you some key numbers and metrics from inside 3 of your top competitors' websites to show you why they are currently outranking you and what needs to be done for you to close that gap so you can beat them in the rankings. So I took a look at your website, and when I first originally found you, I was searching for hardscaping in Bothell. Now, hardscaping is an extremely high traffic volume keyword. So I went and looked at your services, and you've got a wide variety of services: lawn care maintenance, tree shrub care, landscaping. That's how you have them currently divided on your website. If we go to landscaping services, there are going to be some services on here that could fall under the umbrella search term of hardscaping. However, these are all excellent services to be able to target individually using their own high traffic volume keywords. Retaining walls, irrigation, these are high volume traffic volume keywords as well. But just for this example, I'm going to go ahead and stick with hardscaping for a minute. And I'm going to show you what I found. Going to hardscaping in Bothell, I found that currently you are not on page 1. In fact, I searched throughout all the pages, and I found that you were on page 8 as of yesterday, but currently today you've dropped below that, and that's pretty typical when you're down in these lower pages. You're going to get bounced around all over the place. And currently Google is only displaying up to page 8 for hardscaping in Bothell. So currently you are not showing on any of these. Now, according to Google, 92% of people that search on Google, they never look past page 1. So which means that if you're even on page 2, hardly anybody is ever going to see you. That's a huge percentage of people that are not seeing you. And the farther you go down in the lower pages, you are basically invisible. No one's ever going to find you. So what we need to do is fix that, get you bumped up in the rankings and onto page 1, which will, for starters, multiply times 10 at least the number of people that will see you. All of your future customers are on page 1. So we need to get you bumped up onto page 1. This is where all the action is, and let me show you how to do that. Let's go back to your website again. Now, when Google tries to rank a website, there are 2 main areas that it looks at. Area 1 is on-page or website optimization, the things that you can see on your website, and lots of things that you have to log in to do that don't appear on your website, but you can tweak those as well. The second area that Google looks at is what's called your backlink profile. And you probably know what backlinks are. That's when outside websites link to your website. And when that happens, whatever ranking power that website has, it's going to transfer a little bit of that ranking power to your website. And so when you have a large amount of outside websites linking to you, good quality websites linking to you are going to transfer good quality ranking power back to your website. And that's going to increase your website's ranking power, which is that's what your backlink profile is all about. So let's take a look at both of those areas real quickly. I'll try to make it quick. There's a lot that can be said about all of this stuff, but I'll try to make it as simple and quickly as I can. So let's open up this scanning tool. And first of all, let's go back to here. The first thing that Google looks at, the very first thing, is something called your title tag. Now, these blue lines of text are all the title tags for these websites. And the title tag tells Google what it is that your website is about, and what it's actually telling Google these are the very keywords that you want people to use to find you with. Now, if we go back to your website, this is your home page. Let's go back to your home page. If I open up this scanning tool and analyze this page, we're going to find out that your blue title tag is Noel's Landscape and Maintenance, landscaping and lawn care services in Bothell. Now this line of text doesn't appear anywhere on your website, but Google sees it. And what this is telling Google is that these are the very keywords that you want people to use to find you with. Now let me show you how critically important it is to get this title tag dialed in correctly. Because the problem I see here is that nobody searching for your services would ever even know to type in your company's name to start with. And then you have all kinds of text here that is sending conflicting messages to Google, and I'll explain why that is in a minute. But let's just copy and paste this title tag as it is now in your website. And I'm going to open up this new tab, and I'm going to paste it into the search bar. Paste and go. Watch what happens. Using the very keywords that you told Google that you want people to use, you are now number 1 on page 1 of my new search. But again, no one searching for your services would ever even know to use your company's name. Now, let me show you, that's how critically important that this title tag is to get right. Now, not only do you need to have the correct search words in here that will enable Google to know what it is you want to rank for, you also need to have this in the correct format. And here is the format that Google wants to see in your title tag. Number 1, reading from left to right, it wants to see the keyword that you want to rank for. And in our example, we're going to use hardscaping. So your title tag would be hardscaping, dash. The second thing Google wants to see is your location. So we would put Bothell as your primary place that you want to rank for. Dash, the third thing Google wants to see is your business's name. So that's where you could put then your business's name. And again, Google only can see 60 characters in this line. And currently you have 97, which means that a lot of this stuff in your title tag Google's not going to see anyway. So we're going to just stick with the short, simple format, which is keyword, dash, location, dash, business name. Now, when we have that dialed in, the second thing that Google looks for is your H1, which is also known as the header. And it's a line of text that's on your website. The H1 needs to match precisely what you have in your title tag. Google needs to see a one-to-one correspondence between your title tag and the H1. Now, currently, your H1 is winterization package. So, right off the bat, we see that your H1 does not match your title tag, which means that Google is now completely confused as to what your page is about. It's getting all these conflicting signals. In addition to that, you have more than one H1, sending conflicting multiple signals. When this happens, combined with not matching your title tag, Google is now completely confused about what your page is about, and consequently, when that happens, Google then doesn't know who to direct to you in a search. And so Google will then red flag your website and prevent you from rising in the rankings. So the first order of business is to get your title tag dialed in correctly with a matching H1. Now, what we do when we deal with websites is we not only look at your home page, we look at every page in your website, because in reality, each one of these pages functions as its own independent website. Now let's go back to your landscaping services. Now the end result of what we would like to see working with your website is that each one of these services would have their own individual page. And each one of those pages is going to have its own custom blue title tag with the keyword in it. Like this page would be irrigation, dash location, dash company name. We'd also have a page for retaining walls, and we would have a page for sod installation, bark installation, etc., any other services that you might have. And we can individually optimize each one of those pages with its own individual title tag and H1. And we can begin directing custom traffic to each one of those services. Because in reality, people are searching for all of these things, and we will do a keyword research to find out what is the highest traffic volume keywords that people are using to find these services. So just as I used the example hardscaping, so also this holds true with each one of these services and their corresponding search word. So this is what's involved in getting your website optimized. Its own individual pages for each service. Each page has its own title tag and H1 that matches. And we haven't discussed this yet. Each page needs to have its own unique content that also contains keywords that tell Google what your services are about and what you want to rank for. And you can also mention in there the areas that you cover, so that even though we're going to optimize for your home area, which is Bothell, there will be a ripple effect that spreads out to the surrounding communities and other areas that you want to rank for as well. So all of this is involved in part 1 of optimization, which is your on-page and off-page optimization. Now, once all this is done, the third thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you is, as I mentioned earlier, your backlink profile. Now, what I did was I checked the top 3 competitors for hardscaping in your area, and I checked their backlink profiles. We had Green Spaces, we had Perfect Touch Landscapes, and Hoffman Services, Landscape Services. Now, let's go to your number 1 competitor. This is Green Spaces Landscaping Service. Their domain rating, now this is a measure of their backlink profile. This is the other 50% of what Google ranks you for. Their domain rating is 2.3. Now, this is on a scale from 0 to 100. Now, 2.3 is an extremely low rating. I am shocked that they're on page 1 with this kind of a rating. Which reminds me that I should inform you that in order to rank number 1, or in order to rank on page 1 of Google, you don't have to have the greatest website in the world. All you have to do is be a little bit better than the other companies that are on page 1. And if their websites aren't that great, all that means is that they're still a little bit better than everybody else's. So what we do is we take a measure of the health and ranking strength of their website, and we just make yours be a little bit better. So, Green Space is on page 1. They have a domain rating of 2.3. It's extremely low. Somebody on page 1 should have a domain rating of probably up in the 20s or 30s or 40s, or even 50s or 60s for larger areas. They have 186 backlinks coming from 65 outside linking websites. Now, Google likes to see a ratio of 2 to 1. So there should be about maybe 90 linking websites here for a 2 to 1 ratio. The reason is Google has discovered that in the course of a natural organic development of a business's website, that's the natural organic ratio that happens. Google loves organic and natural. Anything that seems to be not organic and natural raises a red flag to Google. Now, this does not seem to be an organic, natural relationship. It looks like maybe this company is buying backlinks, and they're trying to cheat and game the system to get a good backlink profile, which is not natural. That's not how natural, organic businesses grow. So they have a very low ranking, domain rating. So why are they on page 1 then? Now, the answer to that is that when I went to their website is very well laid out. It has the correct H1s matching the correct title tags and good content on each page. So they're getting most of their ranking power from their website. It's dialed in correctly. Despite they have a crappy, really awful domain rating, they're still getting onto page 1. Now let's take a look real quickly. Your second competitor on page 1 is Perfect Touch Landscaping. They have a good, healthy domain rating. 400 backlinks, 49 linking websites. That's not a good natural relationship ratio. It's not 2 to 1. But these backlinks must be pretty healthy. Google is liking what it sees. It has a nice domain rating. Now, I looked at their website, and their website is not laid out very well. They don't have good quality service pages. They don't have good quality title tags or matching H1s, so they're not ranking really high because of their great website. They're ranking higher because they have a good quality backlink profile. Competitor number 3 has also a terrible domain rating, 0.4. That's a little bit higher than 0. So they have 157 backlinks from only 27 linking websites. These backlinks must not carry much ranking power at all for them to have such a low domain rating here. However, they do have a good website. It's optimized fairly well. So those things balance out to really not a very high domain rating. But yet they are on page 1, which tells me that the rest of the competition in your area is not that high, not that steep, which means that this is very much within range for you to make up that gap, capture, and surpass their rankings. Now let's take a look at your backlink profile, Noel's Landscaping. Your domain rating is 0, which fits your ranking of, you're below page 8 in the rankings. I couldn't find you. You have 154 backlinks from 17 websites. And these backlinks, for some reason, are not transferring any ranking power to you at all. So that tells me off the bat that this is the area that we would need to work on. We would begin building very, very high quality backlinks to your website from high quality websites that we have in our network of websites that we work with. In addition to that, we would then get your on-page parameters dialed in, all the different pages with good quality title tags and good quality matching H1s, and a nice healthy backlink profile that you would build. And the websites that are currently on page 1 for your area, they are well within striking range for you to capture and surpass them. So I just wanted to lay all this out for you, give you an idea of where you fall in relationship to the other businesses in your area. Now keep in mind, these are ranking for hardscaping, and we may or may not decide to go with hardscaping as one of the search terms. It's a good umbrella search term for these services, but we may or may not go with that. We might decide to go in different directions with these services. But anyway, all of these things still hold true. These are the areas that we would work on, and we know how to do this. I have a fantastic team of people that work with me to get all of this done, and we can get it done quite quickly too. So if you'd like to know more about all of these things, and if you'd like to have some of your questions answered, I'm sure you have lots of questions, I would love to be able to have a chat with you and answer all your questions. And this is what I do. I get businesses ranked onto page 1, which is a very, very powerful place to be in terms of capturing future business for all these services that you offer. And it's a good time to start ranking now because it's springtime coming up, and spring and summer are good times of the year for people to have all these services done to their properties and their homes. So just if you'd like to know more about all of this and some of the other ranking factors that we work with, go ahead and reply back to this video, this email, and I'd be happy to answer all your questions. And I apologize for how long this video took. I was hoping I could do it in maybe 10 minutes, but I went way over time. But I hope this is of value to you, and get back to me with any questions you might have. So look forward to talking with you, and hope you have a great day. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye now.